Have you ever looked at someone and thought, why does everything always work out for them? They get the opportunity, they get the promotion, they build the business. They seem confident, they seem calm, they seem to know exactly what they're doing. Meanwhile, you work just as hard. You stay up late, you sacrifice, you keep trying. Yet somehow, it feels like life keeps choosing everyone except you. So you tell yourself the same thing millions of people say every single day. They're just lucky. But what if that's the biggest lie you've ever believed? What if luck isn't the reason they keep winning? What if the real reason is something almost invisible? Something so ordinary, most people ignore it every single day. Stay with me, because before this episode ends, you may realize you've been chasing success the wrong way your entire life. And once you understand this, you'll never look at successful people the same again. Let me ask you something. Imagine two people standing in the same room, same age, same education, same amount of money, same opportunities. Fast forward 10 years. One has built a business. They have financial freedom, peace of mind, confidence, healthy relationships. The other is still saying, I'm waiting for the right opportunity. What happened? Did life secretly choose one person over the other? Or did one person quietly make decisions the other never noticed? Here's something most people don't realize. Winning isn't usually one big moment. It's thousands of invisible moments. Nobody sees the alarm clock that rings at 6 in the morning. Nobody sees the books being read, the skills being learned, the nights spent working when everyone else is sleeping, the difficult conversations, the sacrifices, the discipline. People only see the result, then they call it luck. Imagine walking into a movie during the final 5 minutes. You see the hero standing on top of the mountain. You never watch the struggles, the failures, the heartbreak, the years of preparation. Yet you assume they got there easily. That's exactly how we judge successful people. We meet them at chapter 20, then compare our chapter 2. Of course, it feels unfair. Here's another question. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to create opportunities, while others spend years waiting for one? That's because opportunities rarely arrive fully prepared. Most opportunities arrive disguised as hard work, extra responsibility, uncomfortable challenges, learning something new, doing things that don't pay immediately. Most people walk right past them. The people who win pick them up. Let's talk about something nobody likes to hear. Consistency. It's not exciting. It isn't glamorous. It doesn't go viral, but it changes lives. Imagine someone saving just a little money every month. At first, it doesn't look impressive. Then years pass. That small habit becomes financial security. Imagine someone reading 10 pages every day. It feels insignificant. A year later, they've read more books than most people read in a decade. Imagine someone exercising for 30 minutes every day. Not perfect, just consistent. 5 years later, their health looks completely different. Winning doesn't happen because people make one extraordinary decision. It happens because they repeat ordinary decisions, long after everyone else quits. Now let's talk about something deeper, your emotions. Because many people don't lose because they lack talent. They lose because they let emotions control every decision. One bad day, they quit. One rejection, they stop trying. One failure, they decide they're not good enough. The people who keep winning feel the same emotions. They feel fear, doubt, anxiety, disappointment. The difference is, they don't let temporary feelings make permanent decisions. That's emotional wealth. The ability to stay steady, even when life isn't. Can I tell you something surprising? Some of the biggest opportunities in life appear right after your biggest disappointment. But most people never see them. Why? Because they're too busy looking backward. Think about how many people spend years replaying one mistake, one breakup, one failed business, one rejection. Meanwhile, life keeps offering new doors, but they never notice because they're staring at the one that already closed. Winning often begins the moment you stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "What can this teach me?" That's when everything changes. Let's talk about money. Because people often think wealthy people simply know how to make more. But that's only half the story. Many financially successful people first learned how to manage what they already had. Someone earning $50,000 can build wealth. Someone earning $500,000 can still go broke. Income doesn't automatically create freedom. Habits do. Every dollar is a decision. Spend it, save it, invest it, waste it, multiply it. Those small decisions quietly become your future. Financial growth begins long before your first big paycheck. It begins with self-control. Here's something that changed my perspective forever. Successful people don't ask, "What do I feel like doing today?" They ask, "What would the person I'm becoming do?" Think about that. When you're tired, the future version of you still goes to the gym. When you're tempted to waste money, the future version of you remembers your bigger goals. When you're afraid to start, the future version of you takes one small step anyway. Every decision is a vote. Not for today, for the person you're becoming. Now imagine two people. The first waits until they're confident. The second starts while they're scared. 1 year later, who has more confidence? Of course it's the second person. Because confidence isn't something you find. It's something you build. Action creates confidence. Waiting destroys it. Let's be honest. Most people aren't missing information. You already know you should save more. Learn more. Move your body. Take care of your mental health. Spend less time scrolling. Sleep earlier. The problem isn't knowledge. It's execution. The gap between knowing and doing. That's where lives are changed or lost. Here's another truth. Every successful person has something ordinary people often misunderstand. Patience. We live in a world that wants everything immediately. Immediate success, immediate money, immediate results. But nature doesn't work that way. You can't plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. The same is true for your career, your business, your confidence, your finances, your relationships. Everything meaningful takes time. People who always seem to win simply stay in the game longer than everyone else. While others quit after 6 months, they continue for 6 years. That's why they look lucky. Not because life favored them, because they refused to leave. Can I ask you one final question? Imagine meeting yourself 10 years from today. Not the version you dream about, the version created by your current habits. Would that person thank you? Or would they quietly ask, "Why did you keep waiting?" That question has stayed with me for a long time. Because every day, without realizing it, we're building someone. The question is, who? Remember this. Winning isn't reserved for the smartest, or the richest, or the luckiest. It's often earned by the person who keeps showing up when nobody is watching. The person who chooses discipline over excuses, growth over comfort, learning over ego, peace over comparison. Long-term freedom over short-term pleasure. One day, people will look at your life and say, "You were lucky." Smile, because you'll remember the mornings they never saw, the nights nobody applauded, the sacrifices no one noticed, the fears you faced in silence, the habits you repeated when quitting would have been easier. And you'll know the truth. It was never luck. It was the quiet decisions, made over and over again, until they became a completely different life. So when this episode ends, don't look for luck. Look at your habits. Don't wait for opportunity. Prepare yourself for it. Don't ask how successful people always win. Ask yourself, what small decision can I make today that my future self will thank me for? Because your future isn't built by one lucky moment. It's built by the choices you make when nobody else is paying attention.